Chiefs trade rumors with L'Jarius Sneed heading to the Titans have now once again heated back up. What does this mean? Are they going to trade him? What's happening? Well, guess what? You're in the right place to learn all about it and what you should expect right here on the Chiefs Support by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jace Andrews, and L'Jarius Sneed and the trade rumors continue to be the talk of this offseason, and we have you covered. Now, if you want L'Jarius Sneed to stay with Kansas City and go for that three-peat in 2024, well, then you got to do one thing to let me know. That's like the video, because I'm telling you what, the more likes we get, the more we make it known that we want L'Jarius Sneed in KC for 2024. I want to see 600 of those bad boy likes down there. So go down there, hit that like button, smash it. I'm going to go smash it from my accounts. You should do it as well, because I would really appreciate it. Plus, helps out the videos and it makes sure we know we want L'Jarius Sneed in Kansas City for 2024. Before that, though, we do have some Chiefs free agency news to get to you, as we had kind of talked about Mike Edwards over the past couple weeks, couple days, and the potential of him returning to Kansas City. That potential is no longer. He today signed with the Buffalo Bills, actually just moments ago. Mike Edwards, 1-year deal with Buffalo, goes to a quote-unquote rival. I have trouble calling people Chiefs rivals just because at this point, everybody is. The Dolphins say they are. The Bills say they are. In reality, the Raiders are, but they kind of stink. So, whatever. Either way, he's going to play with the Buffalo Bills. This was expected. We kind of knew that he wasn't going to sign back with Kansas City. Just financially, it didn't make sense. The safety room with Brian Cook back in 2024 after his injury is going to be already solid without him. And Mike Edwards said it himself on a Twitter post. He wanted to get paid. And, well, the Chiefs, they couldn't do that. They couldn't give him what he deserved. So he went and found it in Buffalo. Congrats to him. I hope that he does amazing things, just not against the Chiefs. All right, let's get into L'Jarius Sneed stuff, because today we had an update from Brad Steinbuch, who honestly had a lot of reports regarding L'Jarius Sneed over the past week and a half now. Now, he said this literally just last night. Tennessee Titans and Sneed have talked over the past 24 hours per source. Wouldn't call that possibility dead yet. Now, dead yet, what does he mean? Well, let's do a little bit of a backstory here, because the Titans were the original team that were interested in L'Jarius Sneed and the front runners to get him for a good period of time. Now, that all kind of fell silent once they signed Calvin Ridley. Not because they didn't need cornerbacks after that, because obviously Ridley's a wide receiver, but it was more or less the monetary value that they gave to Calvin Ridley seemed as though that was a too high a price to pay for two guys. The thing is, though, the Titans do have money. Now, backtrack again last week to the original tweet from Steinbuch saying, source, the Tennessee Titans have emerged with serious interest in signing quarterback L'Jarius Sneed. Talks will continue, but Tennessee is very, very interested. They have the money to sign L'Jarius Sneed to what he wants, which is around $20 million per year. Now, obviously, this comes at a cost with the trade as well with the Chiefs, because you're going to have to pay them as well. So we have this latest report that it's now back. We have it. They are talking once again. Now, we look at this, and there's a lot of things that Steinbuch says, but the thing that they discussed was a third-round pick. And, well, there's one big problem with all of this, because although the Titans say, yeah, we'll give you a third-round pick, they don't have one this year. That's not there. They traded that third-round pick to get Will Levis in last year's draft. Now, that doesn't mean that a third-round pick was not discussed. I think that just means it's not this year's third-round pick. And so, from what I'm hearing, they're only offering one pick for L'Jarius Sneed. And I want a second-rounder if I'm going to trade him away. So, I propose this. We'll get you that third-round pick. It'll be 2025. But I want a sixth-round pick, because that's the only round the Chiefs currently don't have a pick in. Just give us that. It can't be that much to ask when we're already giving you L'Jarius Sneed, who is a top cornerback in the NFL. That's just my opinion. So, the Chiefs receive the 2024 sixth-round pick. That way they have a draft pick in every single round this year. And then they get that third-round pick in 2025. And then, obviously, the Titans will receive the star cornerback in L'Jarius Sneed. Do you like this trade, though? Because I know it's a big thing to say, oh, yeah, we got this cornerback who is really, really good. Should we trade him? I remind you, Trip McDuffie is also really, really good. Do you like it? Why? For yes, Inferno. How are you feeling, Chiefs Kingdom? You want this one? You don't? Well, now's your time to kind of weigh in. I want the comment section to be a pseudo community board today. So type Y for yes if you like this trade. Type in for no, and let me know why you think this either way you slice it. This is not the trade that was offered. I do want to point that out. That was not offered to the Chiefs. What was offered was just the 2025 third round pick. And while that is still pretty good, I would like to get something else if I'm not going to get a second. If I'm not going to get a second, I would like to have 2 picks that would in some ways make a quote-unquote second-round pick. And I think that would be very viable to get a 3rd and a 6th-round pick from the Titans team, who has a lot of picks that they could use. Hopefully that's an option, but we'll just have to wait and see as these trade talks continue to progress. Make sure you're getting your Super Bowl championship gear, because I'm telling you guys, you're not going to find this stuff too much longer. Obviously, they're going to be harder and harder to find as the production of them slows down. And I want you to be a part of this back-to-back thing, because, man, we're the only team that can say it in the past 20 years. So if you go to chatsports.com/SB hat, not only are you going to get this snazzy Super Bowl championship hat, which, by the way, I own, it's awesome. You're also going to get it for 45% off today. They're having some deals, so if you could go check it out. Again, chatsports.com/SB hat. We have the link in the comments, in the description, and they will be able to fully get their 45% off. So go check it out. Get this nice, snazzy Super Bowl hat. They got all sizes that you can get. Obviously, one size with a snapback. So, chatsports.com/SB hat. Link in the comments in the description of the video. Let's talk about that draft pick that was offered for L'Jarius Sneed, because per Kansas City Radio, the Titans offered the equal value of a 2025 third-round pick and a 4-year, $80 million contract to L'Jarius Sneed. Since then, the Colts and others have inquired, but nothing of traction. This is my whole thing with this. We know that the Chiefs have talked about L'Jarius Sneed and a trade with him for now some time. But in every conversation that I have heard from Brett Veach, and from what I've heard from Chiefs media, Chiefs reporters, all around just the entire landscape of the Kansas City Chiefs, they are wanting a second-round pick. I honestly think they're totally fine with letting L'Jarius Sneed play on the tag in 2024. That's just personally my opinion. Why? Well, because you're paying $19.8 million for 1 year that you can't afford, by the way. You are under the salary cap at this current time. I just think it makes sense to not really worry about this if he's going to play on the tag. Now, obviously, there is some concerns, because if you do not trade him this year on the tag, you probably will not pay him next year, and so you get nothing for him. But are you willing to just, in some ways, bite the bullet, not get anything back for L'Jarius Sneed, but keep him for this year and go for that 3P? I personally think it's worth it, but maybe the Chiefs don't. Maybe they think it's time to trade him. Well, guess what? You get to talk directly to the Chiefs today. Would you rather trade Sneed and get something of value for him before you just give him away, or just have him play on the tag this year, and then if he leaves next year, so be it? You don't get anything back, but you hopefully have your 3rd Super Bowl ring in a row. Now's your time to let me know. Type T for trade if you're trading him away right now and getting something back, or type P for play if you're saying, I want him to go get 3P. That's all I care about. If we get nothing for him next year, whatever. T for trade, P for play. Get down in the comment section and let me know. Let's talk about Hollywood Brown's contract, because the official details of it officially came out. So we can now tell you the base salary, we can tell you the incentives, what they are, and obviously how it can be worth up to $11 million. So let's first start with the base, because if you watched my original video about them signing Hollywood Brown, you mentioned, or you probably heard, it was worth up to $11 million. Now, I projected that the cap hit, the actual initial base salary, would be around $8 million. I was honestly a little bit overpaying. The base salary for Marquise Hollywood Brown is $7 million, which is an absolute steal, by the way. I don't think anybody is talking about that. That's really, really nice value. Now, how does it become $11 million? Well, there's 3 incentive types that Marquise Brown can hit throughout the season. The first one is touchdowns. If he gets 5, he automatically gets $500K. 6 touchdowns, he's going to get that $500K plus an extra $250, so therefore $750. If he gets 7 touchdowns, it's going to be all the way up to an extra $1 million out on that contract. There you go. That's where you add $7 million. He gets all of that. Boom, you're to $8 million off that. Then you go to receiving yards. That's also in the incentives on the contract. 500 receiving yards, $500K. 625 receiving yards, get an extra 125 on top of that. 750, you're going to get an extra 125 on top of that. And then if he gets 1,000 receiving yards, $750K will be deposited into the bank of Hollywood Brown. And obviously that is a big, big spike in that contract. And then the playtime incentives are obviously a pretty easy one in theory. Just has to stay healthy, and unfortunately I don't think he can control that. But have to see here, 45% of the snaps. I think you should get that really, really easy. $500K there, 52.5. He'll get 125, 60, 125 extra. And then obviously the big number and what everybody really talks about in terms of being healthy and playing through the season, 75% of the snaps would equal an extra $750K. Now, I'm sure you're looking at all these numbers and thinking, Jace, do we have the money for this? Like $7 million is the base. That's $4 million extra. Any incentive bonus that he does earn will not be applied to this year's cap space. It will count into the 2025 cap. Similarly to how Chris Jones and all of his incentives from last year didn't hit the Chiefs cap until this year. That's why I talked about it at the Super Bowl. The Chiefs had $24 million in cap. After the Super Bowl win, they had to pay out almost $9 million plus in the extra incentive bonuses. Now, Hollywood Brown, don't worry. I think he's going to hit all of those, and I honestly hope we pay him because that means he's playing well. And he's already getting the work in with Patrick Mahomes. If you were a part of our live show, Sam was on top of it and got it out to us right there. But hey, better late than never here. Primetime Jet working out with none other than QB1 Patrick Mahomes, already getting the work together. And if you missed it, they talked about on a little bit of a Twitter conversation how Hollywood was excited to work with Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick said, oh yes, there are going to be many, many a workout section together in the future. Well, guess what? Marquise Brown officially signed Monday. This was Tuesday. Now we're Wednesday. So, man, it's nice to see that a teammate immediately becomes a true teammate to Patrick Mahomes. We appreciate y'all watching. We hope you enjoyed all the updates surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs, both on L'Jarius Sneed, Mike Edwards, and of course Hollywood Brown and all the incentives that he could possibly earn. Make sure you subscribe because we're going to have more informative and entertaining content throughout the week, and as well as updates on L'Jarius Sneed as we get them. You'll be the first one to know if you hit that subscribe button, along with turn on those notifications. That way, if Sneed does get traded, you'll be the first to know. That's all we got for you for today, Chiefs Kingdom. As always, peace out.